Hello and welcome to another one of my videos, and it was brought to my attention, not so much brought to my attention, it was suggested to me by a subscriber that I should talk about Bullion Vault, and he also mentioned another service, but I thought I'd go through Bullion Vault because I think it's very handy for people to look at. Now, for those of you that don't know what it is, it's a company that you can buy a claim to gold. In some cases, you can have it allocated, and in other cases, you will have a claim to an allocation. They're relatively cheap, concerning, or if you were to compare and contrast against buying coins. So I thought I would put it out there, as I am a believer in diversification, and I am a believer in benefiting from an asset rather than just being a gold and silver zealot, where I say you should buy, and if you don't hold it, you don't own it, because I don't necessarily believe in that rhetoric. My channel is all about opening up people's minds about ownership of gold and silver and the ins and outs of it, and sometimes you have to go down different avenues apart from owning the physical metal. Now let's talk about the company. So the company was set up a while ago, actually. It says 2005, so it's been around about 15 years. And they set it up on the basis that they believed that the gold market was poorly run and that the ordinary investor could benefit from this type of company. They weren't wrong. They've absolutely smashed it. They've grown a lot. They've had many awards, as you can see here. So Queen's Award for Enterprise Innovation, which it holds a lot of weight, that award. They've won a second one. They've got a strong board, which they post. So let's go to the strategic objective. So they believe there's a deficit in financial responsibility in modern governments and financial institutions. So what that means, if you read between the lines, is that they're worried about money printing. They believe that modern currencies and other paper-based value systems will inhibit savers from retaining their domestic and worldwide purchasing power. Again, that's down to money printing, and they believe that there is a lack of control from governments concerning that. We believe that using gold to provide protection from this problem is a strategy which has been inaccessible to individuals at a fair price. What they're saying is they don't like the idea of owning physical themselves on the back that the spread is too high for their liking. That's a fair argument, but there is counterparty risk. So it's horses for courses, really. And for anyone who has watched my videos, everyone knows that you can buy and sell gold and silver to make money. It's not a case of spread. It's the age-old argument that I've been having with literally the world, that spot price is not the be-all and end-all. They're not wrong in lowering the spread, but I don't also believe they're right, and they are businessmen. So their last point they say is, we believe that we are uniquely well qualified to provide that accessibility and to manage the service in a way which maximises security, accessibility and value for all our customers. This is true. They've managed to put together a system where everyone can benefit. However, there are caveats, and I will run through them later on. So let's have a quick look at the site. Personally, I think the site is it's very busy. There's so much going on. Like, there's so many different things you can read through. So, for example, procedure. Yeah, they do daily audits. So this is one of the companies that I have had money in the past. I'm not currently logged in. I don't want you to know my details, which I think is fair enough. I do have a small amount in, probably under what is beneficial, but that's a story for another day, and I probably will be adding to my account. Now, if you look at the screen in front of me, you can buy in pounds. You can have your gold, silver, or platinum vaulted in, I think it's 5 places. I think it's Zurich, London, Singapore. Zurich, London, Singapore. New York is one of them. I believe there's another one. Let's edit it. Yeah, there is. Toronto. So you can have it in dollars, pounds, euros, yen, and you can choose to have it in a multitude of places. So silver, it's probably best to have it in London if you're in the UK, New York if you're in America. For my Australian friends, probably Singapore, but don't quote me. Like it's up to you. Like you can have it in dollars, pounds, or euros. I guess if you've got multiple counts and you think that gold is going to be stronger in one currency over another, then that's a fair way to look at it. Now, let's go back. You can see from the order board that you got the buy and the sell. So when you buy, you can make an offer on any of these. Obviously, you're going to buy for the first one, and when you sell, you're going to sell for the first one as well. You can look at the spread. It's a very, very good spread. So if you were to buy a coin, for example, you're going to be paying, well, in this market, maybe 5% over just on your basic bullion. If you can get under, then you're doing okay. The spread is returning slightly to normal, but it's had a lot of supply shock. And if there's another round of COVID, there might be another supply shock on the horizon. It's been hard to get coins in. Even the dealers are paying spot in some cases. So the spread is a lot tighter than buying physical, and that's okay. So they've got an investment guide, they've got gold news. Let's go on to the next page. So the Bullion Vault tariff. So this is essentially what they charge. Again, it's a very, very busy site. There's a lot of penalty charges, which I don't agree with. So penalty reset, let's have a look at that. Yeah, that's ridiculous, I'm sorry. $20 to reset your password, that's not okay. That's a piss take, to be frank. But I've digressed. Let's go at the standard charge. So you've got your dealing commission. So it's 0.5 in and 0.5 out. It's really good. That's a really good commission. So again, if you're buying physical, you're going to be paying maybe 5% in this market. You're going to be paying postage on top. For them, it's going to be 1% buying and selling. You've then got to pay for storage and insurance. Again, so 0.12% on your gold, 0.48% on your silver and your platinum with minimum thresholds. Don't really need that. There's other services they offer. I want to quickly look at the penalty charges. I think that's important. So, gold in. I will go through the penalty charges in a second, actually. So, storage and insurance. So, you can see just from their table, if you've got, say, $5,000 in, the charge is going to be $48. It's going to be just under a percentage point. For gold. For silver, it's going to be close to 2%. Platinum, close to 2%. The more you have in, obviously, the lower the annual charge goes for storage. So this product is probably not good for someone who doesn't have a lot of money in terms of putting into allocated, because you're going to get charged higher. One of the reasons that I wanted to talk about this website, though, was because a lot of people don't want to have the faff of dealing with selling. This solves a lot of issues. You don't have to deal with it, and you're not going to lose out on the spread. All right. So yeah, you can take it out. They're a bit cheeky when they say you can take it out, because they have comparisons against, so a 1 ounce, they had a 1 ounce Brit, and then they had 100-gram Pamp Swiss bar, and like, oh, if you were to buy the bar, it would cost you this. However, it would cost you this if you bought it from Bullion Vault. You can't actually buy a 100-gram Pamp Swiss bar from Bullion Vault. It's not how it works. They've just used it for illustrative purposes, and I don't think that's right. I think that's a bit misleading. So I think you can only take out, so this is what you can take out: 400 ounces in gold bars. Let's be realistic, unless we all have a whip round, that's not going to be the case. 1,000 ounce silver bar, okay, that's feasible, and 150 ounce platinum bars. again, most people are not going to have that amount of money. Then the fees start adding up. You're going to have armored transportation. Yeah, no, thank you. It will eat into what you're paying. Again, if you reserve specific bars, which you can do, there's more fees. So it does add up. If you want more than just the basic service of buying and selling, you want to take it out, or you want to allocate specific bars, it's going to cost you. Again, physical gold withdrawal. Whenever payments linked to your bank account, it's not reasonable, 1%. When you elect a whole stand 400 ounce bar, 2.5%. Where you elect a whole stand 100 gram bars, 1% of the value of gold plus 2.5% for insurance and transport. Where non-standard size is 7.5%. So it's probably more beneficial to buy physical if you know you're going to get it released in that form. Let's go to silver withdrawal. Whenever payment you link to your account, it's not reasonable, 1%. When you elect a whole stand of 32 ounce pallet, 2.5%. How many people can realistically take 32 ounces out? Not many. When you elect a 10 ounce bar, 100 ounce bar, 10%. And it's charged off your total. So you have to have 1,100 ounces in to take that out. It makes you think that this service is great for buying and selling on the order board, but it's not great for taking possession of said gold or silver or platinum. So you can also have it moved to an alternate vault. Okay, to cease account administration, not to exceed the higher $500. There's charges left, right, and center with this company. I don't particularly like that. Penalty charges, delayed validation, password reset, promotion abuse, repeat small deposit surcharge, return of deposits from a bank account which has not been validated as yours, card deposits. They really like their fees, which I think that's morally wrong. But let's go on to the next part of the video. It's kind of going on a bit. I'm not at the top of my game today, but I will get through it in the best way I can. So let's calculate your commission storage fees. So you can put gold, silver, or platinum. The currency. Let's go for pounds, as I'm British. Value. Let's say you want 5,000. And you can play around a toggle. Do you like, for example, 1 month? You can see the spread, and this is where I think it's very feasible for people who don't want to take delivery of their gold or silver or platinum. So it's going to cost you 0.5 percentage point to buy and 0.5 percentage point to sell, and very little to store, 0.06% to store. So if you buy £5,000 worth of gold, your fee is essentially 1.06%, £52. It's minimal. Let's go for 6 months. To store, it goes up to 0.38%. Let's go to a year, 7.6%. 2 years, 2.53 all in. 5 years, 4.83% all in. Now, let's go back to the point I was making. If you buy bullion in physical coin, it's going to cost you maybe 5% now. Here you can get it for a cheaper price, albeit you do have counterparty risk and it's not in your hand, but you're being charged close to 5%. What's more wrong? It all depends on your own individual circumstance. It's, if you don't like the idea of having it on your person and you want someone else to deal with all that, bullion vault is a very good alternative. It really is. The only issue is, let's reset this back. If you go below a certain amount, say you have £1,000, it starts to get more pricey, especially in silver. 5 years, yeah, if you put £1,000 in and over 5 years, it's going to cost you 20%. Not feasible. So you need to play around with it yourself to see where it's at. Let's look at silver. I'm not going to go through platinum. It's a longer video than I'd planned. Let's go silver. So it's going to cost you 1.63% on the silver. Now, silver is probably the better play on bullion vault than buying physical. Let's look for 6 months. It's going to cost you 4.8%. You're already beating that. You know, it's going to cost you 40% over 5 years. Now, you need to ask yourself, do you think the market's going to continue to trade sideways, or do you believe it's going to go up? You know, it's not a problem, but 39% for 5 years worth of storage, you're probably paying 30 to 35% anyway. If you think it's going to go up, it's kind of a viable option. Let's go for 5k. Now that drops down to 8.6. So for the smaller buyer, it's probably not a feasible company to use. For someone in the mid-range, someone who's got maybe 4,000 or 5,000, maybe 10,000, it's probably a very good source to use. Now let's go on to the next page. This is what I spoke about earlier concerning the 100-gram PAMP minted bar. They've got it at 14.87 or 48 pence a gram, and it comes out at 48.04 once the fee has been taken into account. However, you can't withdraw a 100-gram silver bar. From what I know, I believe you can only withdraw 1,000 ounces. Yeah, 1,000 ounce good delivery wholesale silver bars. So this is very misleading, because I was looking at it earlier, I was thinking, oh, okay, if that's the case, then it's going to cost me plus 20% plus maybe a 10% handling fee. So you're looking at 48 times 30%. £62.40, absolute bargain. You know, sign me up for 5k. I'll take 5k off of PAMP bars at that. I'll move them for £90 all day. Well, not all day, but I'll move a large percentage of them for £90. It's just not the case though. You have to buy a 1,000 ounce delivery bar, and then, like, what are you going to do with a 1,000 ounce delivery bar? Let's be realistic. Apart from have it as a massive doorstop, unless you're a jeweler or you're going to break it down, it's not really worth it. So it says, please note, this analysis is published to inform your thinking and not lead it, which it's a very fair statement. Like, I could say the same about my channel. Now, the last thing I want to talk about concerning Bullion Vault is its reviews. So they're a paid member of Trustpilot, which is always a good sign. Now, I've already checked out the bad reviews. Some of them are absolutely nonsensical. You always get some people who write bad reviews, and they've probably got no right to write bad reviews. That's just life. They've got some very valid ones, but what really impressed me was that, so this, for example, don't force me to review, and they wrote back, you don't have to review us. You know, what kind of impressed me though is that the way that they escalate certain issues. So, for example, this guy is from the Isle of Man. What happened was he had a company, or he was part of the company, and it got, I'm not sure if it struck off or was it, it does say, yeah, it was struck off. It was struck off by the authorities, and he was explaining the process to get the assets back. But the person who responded was the actual chairman and founder of Bullion Vault. So this is a company that has billions in management, and the top dog is responding to these emails. And it's not the only occasion that it's happened. A lot of them are just responding by the Bullion Vault team, but the top dog is prepared to roll his sleeves up and get involved when possible. And having a look at him, having had a look at the reviews, I think it's fair. You know, they do say that, so our highest commission band is 0.5. The fees to buy it himself would have been XYZ. They're very thorough in how they respond. So I was more than happy looking at the reviews. Like as a businessman myself, I've had bad reviews against me. There's people who won't do business with me. Where I've had falling out with some people. I've had issues with some customers, some right, some wrong. Some of them were my fault, some of them were due to expectation. You're always going to get that, but a mark of a good company is how they deal with uh, those bad reviews. And for me, like you can personally look at it yourself. I think they've done very well. And 4 out of 5, or just over 4 out of 5 people think it's excellent. So I'll let you make your mind up. I know this one's been a bit of a ramble today. I have been super tired. I've had a really long day. I hope you enjoy the content. I hope you found it informative. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you have a good one.